Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Greg Guy.
My name is Casey. You want to start again?
No, we're good. We will be presenting this week's iteration of Banghead Financial. Now, relatively slow week, on the overall. Of course, there's still the whole Elon Twitter thing going on, which we might touch at, a little bit, and we'll see where we're at. But main things going on here this week, the Assembly of Panama have passed a bill to allow cryptocurrencies to be used as, national currency and the citizens to pay their taxes in.
Right.
There were 8 different cryptocurrencies that they listed in this particular bill, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XDC Network, Elrond, Stellar, IOTA, Algorand, and the last and final one is XRP, which, as we all know, the SEC is still trying to drag that lawsuit out.
Yeah.
Although I haven't heard from the XRP lawyers and everything that they think that it's going to be over soon. But I think it's just odd that they threw that one in there as well.
So this, I don't know if you know the answer. This is Elrond.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have anything to do with L. Ron Hubbard?
No.
Isn't that the Scientology guy?
I believe it is.
Okay. Is there a Scientology cryptocurrency?
No. Elrond, I believe, is I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot of research into it, but I believe it's like a DeFi, decentralized finance platform.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of looking into that. Now, with provisions in this bill have stated that businesses and everything are not, will not be, forced to accept cryptocurrencies as payment for, services and everything. However, I'm sure if this bill, gets passed by the president of Panama, that it would probably be beneficial, I would assume, for them to at least, explore the option.
Well, I mean...
So just to clarify, technically these, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, it's not going to be legal tender.
Okay. I got you.
Unlike in El Salvador and the Democratic Republic of Congo, I believe, is the other one. I think Tonga was going to do it, but then they got hit by that tsunami. Might have set their efforts back a little bit.
Right. You got other concerns?
Yeah. Another interesting thing that I found was that they will not be, inferring capital gains taxes on cryptocurrency investments for the citizens of, the country or the businesses and everything in there. So no capital gains tax.
That's definitely going to push people to use them.
Well, it's gonna if this does get passed, I believe it'll become a relatively happening spot, we'll say, for cryptocurrency investors and everything.
Right.
I think. Also, another provision in the bill is they are looking to utilize blockchain technology for transparency and efficiency in government. So, the only question that I would, or the only thing that I would think this could lead to is the potential of the first election being done over blockchain, which I know Charles Hoskin and the Cardano team are working on something to that effect.
Okay.
I don't know who else is, but like I said, everything's recorded on the blockchain.
Right.
So, it'll be interesting, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I would prefer transparency above all else, especially in elections and in government.
especially elections.
Right.
The other thing going on this week is the U.S. GDP numbers, the gross domestic product for Q1 of this particular year were released. And the GDP number that we were given was negative 1.4%. So the economy has generated negative 1.4% versus, I think it's counted against Q1 of last year. I don't believe it's counted against Q4.
We're definitely going in the wrong direction.
Wrong direction, that's for sure. It was expected to be positive 1.1%. That was what was forecasted.
Well, I mean, we'd have to have competent leaders.
Versus, okay, and just to show like the large discrepancy here in Q4 of last year, it was 6.8%.
Right.
Now, this leads me to this point. If the inflation numbers are sitting at 8.5%, did we not just technically lose 10% of our GDP in one quarter? And okay, let me round this thought out. The 2021 total GDP for the year was $24.8 trillion. So let's just round that to 25. If that is true and we lost 10%, then the United States of America gross domestic product went down $2.5 trillion. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
We're making a lot of TikTok videos, though.
So I've said this before. I believe that we are in a recession, but these numbers in particular, in my mind, kind of confirm that.
Right. Well,
so yeah,
we're all hurting a little bit here.
Trouble. And like I said, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
But I mean, I will say this, to be fair. This isn't just a United States thing. This is like an all over the world thing. I mean, I think that unless you're producing energy, you're not going up right now. Like for example, like the Arab nations and stuff like that, how their fuel and gas. I don't think they're in any kind of recession whatsoever. They hold the key to.
Well, I mean, their government kind of works totally different than ours too, as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, the royal family might not be hurting.
You're right. Well, I mean, anybody making over like at least around $250,000 a year isn't hurting in any circumstance whatsoever. They don't really care. They don't really see the other side of the coin, and they just continue on like business as normal.
Yeah. So I mean, in the FOMC meeting is coming up on May 3rd, May 4th. And they're going to decide whether they're going to do another 25 basis points or the 50, which we spoke about last week. I don't know. I think that this, information here is going to push them more toward the 25 basis points rather than the 50.
Right.
But it's, like I said, it's just going to prolong this process of getting the economy and everything back on track.
We'll see.
In my opinion, anyway. Yeah, I mean, just real briefly, obviously, the whole Elon Twitter thing is going on. I heard something about a breakup clause to where if one side or the other leaves the, particular arrangement is out, that, whichever side, leaves, owes the other one $1 billion. $1 billion.
Right.
So obviously
that would hurt too. I think that would. I mean, it would hurt both sides, but I think it would definitely hurt Twitter more than it would Elon.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if this goes to shareholder vote, and we did our Bancast here that came out this past week on the ownership of Twitter. If those shareholders vote not to sell, and they are only taking in $5 billion in revenue a year, Twitter will have to pay Elon 20% of their yearly income off of failed sale.
Right.
So, I mean, that's going to be, like I said, this whole Elon Twitter thing, it's going to be continuing and developing, and there's so much more to come out.
I did not believe it was going to happen in the first place, but now that it's gotten to progress to the state that it's at, I think there's no doubt it's a done deal, and Twitter owns, or Elon owns Twitter now.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like I said, I don't know how you lose 20% of your yearly revenue, and you're already operating at a financial loss.
I will say this, that there's a lot of media companies that probably run at a negative, and they're just being propped up in order to push an agenda.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but that's basically what's going on here this week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Banghead Financial. I'm, of course, Greg, your guy.
My name's Casey.
And we will see you next week.